There was supposed to be a video on Kekai Sensen being the king of madness, but I didn't finish the script in time because I was sick and I had a bunch of other stuff that I did that week. So I didn't finish the script in time. So I'm just gonna do this. But I do got plans for other videos too, like a Black Clover video and a few other videos on shows that came out this season. So this is going to be a podcast style, so there's not really going to be any editing or anything, so you could just listen if and go somewhere else if you want. There's not even really going to be any background music, just the sound of my voice. So I'm just going to be talking about the No Game No Life movie that came out in America last week. Well, more than last week, really, I guess. I guess it came out last week and the week before, subbed and dubbed. I went and saw it the Sunday it came out dubbed, and I gotta say, it was really good. It was just as good as the original series. No Game No Life Zero is a very good flick. It is based on the characters. It's based on new characters from the past. Sora and his little sister aren't really in it much, and it's based off of characters that look pretty much like them and have similar personality types, because that actually ends up being a plot point, because it's based... Oh, by the way, there's going to be spoilers, because this movie isn't going to come out for the regular public for a while, so spoilers. But it's also has like this whole plot point about how the main characters in this movie are like basically like Sora and Shiro are like reincarnations of them, like, and it's a nice sentiment. It's a nice sentiment because the thing is, in the movie, those two characters, like, they start off like he's a human, he's a part of the human race, and she's a part of some robot race that exists in the world, and they end up meeting because she gets kicked out of her little hive mind because she wants to know how the human heart works. She doesn't get it. She doesn't get statistically that humans should definitely be dead, and she doesn't get how they're still alive, so she wants to know more about them. So our main character, which, let me look him up as I'm talking about him because I can't remember off the top of my head. Our main character, he takes her in. He takes her in, and he does have some clashes with her and like almost kills her at one point in time because he has such pent up rage against all the other races because they just keep on attacking and destroying the world. Because by the way, the movie, this is gonna be very unorganized because I'm talking by myself and not with a person, but the movie has... It's placed in the time of the war that they keep on talking about in No Game No Life. Like, they just talk about it, they don't really show it or anything. But it's not important to No Game No Life, it's just the fact that this war happened. And it just shows that. And in the war, it's completely unfair to humans. Everyone has some sort of power, has some sort of magic ability, some sort of everything, but they could just barely survive working off the information that they get from getting from others. And it's this movie is pretty depressing. I mean, okay, the main character dude is Riku, and the Sora clone is Shuichi. I couldn't remember. But it's like they were. It was really, it's really intense. No Game No Life is known for having its characters always win, and the thing is, this movie is not No Game No Life. There are funny moments. There are moments where the theater I was in, we were dying because it was really, really hilarious, and then we were dying because we were crying. Because the movie can get really, really sad and get really, really intense. We got, like, people die in this movie. And, like, it's very sad. And the deaths aren't just, like, it's just depressing how these deaths play out too, and like it's a slow build up. The movie is actually really well paced. I mean, it's not perfectly placed. The thing is, the movie could be like its own little miniseries, and it would be better if it was its own little miniseries, or even if it was its own TV show. But the thing is, it's only based off of one light novel, like Volume 6, so that wouldn't make any sense to have its own TV show. It could be spread out into like 3 to 4 episodes, so but the movie was around that length, so I'm not sure there was much more that they could have added. But it was really well paced. I didn't feel like I was being rushed through the plot, and I wasn't waiting for things to happen. Things were happening at a brisk pace, but they weren't happening so fast where I felt like the movie was rushing. But this movie also looks beautiful. It's No Game No Life on steroids. You know what No Game No Life looks like. It looks beautiful. It's a really well animated and very well looking series. This is beautiful in a different way, because since everything's super dark and everything, and it's really orangey and grayish, but like they still make the character designs and movements look very, very good. Then they also have this one big action scene of Swishy versus Jabril, and that action scene was one of the best action scenes I've seen all year. Like, one of the best. I'm not saying the best, but it was really good and very intense, and it ended very sadly with Swishy losing and dying in the process, but and it was very emotional. Also, this movie has a very good romantic plot. I mean, which isn't even forced. It's just like Riku and Swishy actually get married, which automatically made me think, oh god, someone's gonna die. It's a very cute romance, and also it explains why Sora and Shiro are so attached to each other. It gives extra layers to that, because because since Sora and Shiro are just reincarnations of Swishy and Riku, and now they're brother and sister, so they can't be involved romantically. So it's kind of like the situation that they're in here, where they can't have sex because she doesn't have here it's just in Swishy doesn't have any reproductive organs, so she can't do the do. I can't mention this or I'll get demonetized. But she can't do the do. Because she's a robot, and robots can't do to do. So, but Riku marries her anyway, and they have they play off each other really, really nicely, and their romance is very, very satisfying, and makes it even more heart-wrenching when they get torn apart because Swishy dies in battle. Then Riku does not get a satisfying death. He does not. That end, the ending of the movie, the ending of the flashback to this event was so hard to watch in the best way possible. It was very gut-wrenching. Sub and dub, the acting was really good. It was he was just because the thing is, the game was to get everyone to fight each other, and for him to get the piece, just so a guy can grab it, so the world would, so the war would end and it'd be over. But if he ended it that way, it just was gonna end in the draw. No one would win. And after all the people he let die, after all the people that he commanded to their deaths, after Swishy dying for him, and for this whole thing to happen, he's like, no, I can't accept a draw. So then he basically gets down on his knees and prays for the first time in his life. For the first time in his life, because he has saved multiple times. He doesn't really care about the gods. The gods are assholes. They are horrible people. But he's just he's like, if there is anyone out there, please just end this war. Somebody do something. If there God at games, if you're actually there, if you're actually real, please fix this war. give us something. Make sure that this wasn't all for nothing. And it was very well acted and very well done, and I was very impressed with the voice acting in that one scene. To end this whole end the movie, and it was a great climax. And it's like, I'm just trying to say the as you could tell, this has been completely unscripted with all the ums and ahs. Um, but like, it was a very good movie. I rated it a 9 out of 10. Only it's not perfect. It's not perfect. Like just like No Game No Life, which I also rated a 9 out of 10. Like sometimes it kind of like meanders around, or like sometimes it's just like okay, or like it just it's like it wasn't what I would be considered my favorite. It's great. It was a great movie. It was a great time, but it wouldn't be like, I wouldn't like go like this is a 10 out of 10 perfect. It would never. It wasn't perfect, but it was mind-blowingly entertaining. Mind-blowingly entertaining. I liked it way more than I thought I would. It was impressive to look at. The characters were really well done. I didn't think I'd be able to like these new people, considering that we weren't getting season 2, but I was able to like them and get attached just fine, even though I called to myself that they're gonna die, so they're gonna totally die. And I called it, and I was right, but that's just what you gotta do. It's like I get attached to characters real easily, so I was very invested in this movie. But would I recommend this to No Game No Life fans? Yes, definitely. You go see it. Now, if you only watch No Game No Life for the comedy, maybe not. But if if you're a No Game No Life fan and you like the characters of No Game No Life and you like how it just is structured and the ideas that I did No Game No Life and the guys who writes it writing style, then yeah, you'll enjoy this movie just as much as you enjoyed the series, probably, unless you hate drama and death. Would I recommend this to non-No Game No Life fans? I wouldn't recommend seeing this movie without seeing No Game No Life. But if you didn't like No Game No Life that much, like if you gave it like a 6, 7, I think you could enjoy this movie just fine without like going like, ugh, it's even worse than the show. I think that you would actually like this, because if you didn't like No Game No Life, then and this is almost the opposite, like kind of somewhere closer to what you probably would want from the show on the spectrum. Character deaths do actually usually help, and character deaths that are meaningful character deaths do work. And it's still funny. It still has its jokes and it still has its comedic moments, but it is, let me say, it's 75% drama and 15% jokes. Is that a good way to explain it? So, final rating, 9 out of 10. Highly recommend. Buy the Blu-ray when it comes out or watch it on Crunchyroll if it ends up there. Probably won't, because Sentai Filmworks owns it, so it's probably going to end up on Anime Strike. I'm going to buy the Blu-ray when it comes out. I saw it in theaters, highly enjoyed it. I hope everyone who gets a chance to see it enjoys it too. And I hope we can finally get that season 2. Because the first reaction out of everyone out of the theater, I heard 5 different people at the same time say, Season 2 win! So obviously this show has support, but we're not getting a season 2 anytime soon because Madhouse exists. They'll probably just give it to JC's staff like they did One Punch Man. Okay, that was a low blow. Okay, I'll move on. But anyway, enjoyed the movie. Hope you enjoy it too when you get to see it. This is just a review because I didn't write a script and I couldn't finish it and I couldn't edit and it's been hectic. But don't worry, I got plans. The videos just were taking way longer than expected, and they're probably not even going to be super long videos. I'm just slow. So, hope you enjoyed the review, and I hope you like and subscribe, even if you hate my voice. Don't worry, the audio quality usually isn't like this. This is just done very, very quickly and very, very cheaply. And usually I actually have edited content, and if you want to see what I usually talk about, just look on screen right now. There are probably cards here. I don't know my timing. I'm not really looking at a clock. But yeah, I should probably have some cards. Click those, and see you next time.